Welcome to CognitionChunks. This is Talking to the Man in the Moon, the Science of Lunar Myths and Lunacy. A follow-up series of phrases like seeing pink elephants. From the phrase, talking to the man in the moon, having a fanciful or nonsensical conversation. The concept of a man in the moon, along with various lunar myths and notions of lunacy, offers a fascinating interdisciplinary dialogue that includes astronomy, psychology, folklore, history, and cultural studies. Understanding the science behind these myths, and the term lunacy, allows us to untangle the complex web of beliefs and behaviors associated with our nearest celestial neighbor. Lunar myths and folklore. 1. Man in the moon. This idea can be traced back to various cultural narratives, where a face or figure is imagined on the moon's surface. This is a form of pareidolia, where the human brain identifies patterns, like faces, where none objectively exist. 2. Werewolves and shapeshifting. In various cultures, the full moon is believed to cause transformations in humans or animals, even though there's no scientific evidence to support these claims. 3. Moon goddesses and gods. Deities like Artemis, Diana, and Chandra are anthropomorphic incarnations of the moon in different mythologies. 4. Tides and agriculture. Ancient civilizations observed the effect of the moon on tides and agricultural cycles, contributing to lunar deification and mythologizing. Psychological and behavioral associations. 1. Lunacy and mental health. The term lunacy comes from the Latin word for moon, luna, because people once believed that mental illnesses were caused or exacerbated by the moon's phases. Modern science, however, has largely debunked this. 2. Circulunar rhythms. Some studies suggest that human sleep patterns may exhibit circulunar rhythms, though the research is still inconclusive. 3. Confirmation bias. Instances where people act out during a full moon and attribute it to the lunar cycle may be cases of confirmation bias, where they notice only the data that supports their belief and ignore the data that doesn't. Neuroscience and endocrinology. 1. Melatonin levels. The hormone melatonin, which regulates sleep, is affected by light exposure. However, the light from a full moon is probably too weak to significantly alter melatonin levels in humans. 2. Dopamine and serotonin. Some fringe theories suggest that lunar cycles could influence neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, although scientific evidence is scant. Astronomy and physics. 1. Lunar phases. Understanding the science of lunar phases helps dispel many myths. For example, the dark side of the moon is a misnomer. All sides of the moon receive sunlight at some point. 2. Gravitational effects. The moon's gravitational pull does affect Earth's tides, but its effect on the human body is negligible, given that the human body is not a large body of water. Cultural and societal implications. 1. Narrative and ritual. Lunar myths are deeply woven into the cultural fabric and are often connected to rituals, which can have psychological benefits regardless of the lack of scientific grounding. 2. Astrology. Though not scientifically validated, lunar positions form a significant aspect of astrological beliefs, which have psychological and cultural relevance for many people. 3. Space exploration. As humanity advances in its understanding and exploration of the moon, some myths are dispelled while others are created. Example, moon landing conspiracy theories. In summary, the science behind lunar myths and lunacy is a fascinating blend of legitimate natural phenomena and human psychological and cultural tendencies to anthropomorphize and mythologize. Understanding the real forces at play, both within our minds and in the celestial sphere, can help us navigate the fine line between awe-inspired reverence and evidence-based understanding. This delicate balance has the potential to enrich both our spiritual and intellectual lives, as long as we approach it with an open yet critical mind. That's a wrap, Cognition Chunkers. We've just completed our orbit around the fascinating topic of lunar myths and the concept of talking to the man in the moon. This episode was a celestial journey through cultural history, psychology, and science, investigating why human beings have been so deeply enchanted by Earth's only natural satellite. Talking to the man in the moon, while a whimsical phrase, actually unearths layers of human curiosity and imagination that have driven countless myths, legends, and even scientific inquiry. Whether it's the age-old belief in lunar influence over human behavior, lunacy, if you will, or contemporary conspiracy theories, our collective preoccupation with the moon is a testament to the human capacity for wonder and inquiry. We sifted through how myths are born from our desire to make sense of the natural world and how science has since debunked or substantiated these beliefs. We also looked at some mind-bending psychological studies, delving into how the moon, or the perception of it, can affect our sleep patterns, moods, and even social behaviors. While science has yet to validate many of these claims, the very human urge to connect dots and find patterns makes for an intriguing dialogue. If this episode got you staring up at the night sky in contemplation, wait until you catch our upcoming series, Seeing Pink Elephants, where we'll dissect other fantastical phenomena, their cultural origins, and the underlying psychology that makes them so compelling. Make sure to hit the like button if this episode added a sparkle to your intellectual cosmos, and share it with those who might enjoy a nuanced exploration of myths and the moon. If you haven't already, subscribe to CognitionChunks for more intriguing, well-researched content delivered with a sprinkle of nerdy humor. So as we conclude this lunar excursion, we're reminded that while the man in the moon may not offer tangible replies, our dialogues, no matter how fanciful, with celestial entities open doors to new horizons of knowledge and self-discovery. Until our next journey, Cognition Chunkers, keep your eyes to the skies and your minds open to endless possibilities. See you in the next episode.